Итак, труп мы осмотрели. Местные мелкие твари. Очко мы оставим, когда будет припрет. Так. Денежки. Зайдем к плезанции. Это кто стоит тут? Пролетарка. Интересно.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Кто вы такая?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
Угу. Шпион очередной какой-то.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
У тебя тоже какая-то забастовка?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Славно, славно.
It is.
Я полицейский. Здравствуйте. Ваши документы, пожалуйста.
I know you are.
Вот, хорошо. Нужна ли вам помощь полиции?
What with?
Может, у вас муж пропал?
My husband? No, he's not.
Ладно, окей.
You're welcome.
Может, у вас какаду пропал?
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Что значит?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Да у них там про одни убийства и прочее.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
На самом деле, пожалуй, так и сделаю. Спасибо за совет.
Wonderful. The store is open.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Но ты у нас на прицеле. Игуания. Так, плезанцы. Отвечай.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
Мрачный саркофаг.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Оказалось, это упокоящие потерпевших крах предприятий, которые высасывают жизненную силу из нашего книжного, из вашего. Если честно, там просто помойка. Не на что смотреть, только горы хлама. Не хватает солнечного света. И я не имею права высказывать личное мнение про упокоивших.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
Нашли.
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of hers.
Ничего себе.
A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Спасибо, пойдем посмотрим.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
I would say the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Да, отлично.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Уйдем. Трактат о магии фашистов. Довольно откровенно. Всем известно, что самое интересное в фашистах – это их магия. Нифига себе.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Пролистаем.
Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Ну ладно, мы еще вернемся. Как оно, блин. Так. Что у нас получается по сущности? Никого мы так и не обнаружили, да? Ким?
It's dark, and the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Пароль мы все еще не знаем. Так, медведь.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Да, жалко, ничего нового не появилось. Теперь про ту коробку. Контейнер.
This orange machine is dead still. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid. If you want to try again, then you need to have...
Equip the prize.
Так. Поможет ли это?
This orange machine is dead still. It
Не
has a
доступно. А что у нас тут? Вроде бы все. Так. С кем же мы там говорили, когда орали в ту птичку? Мышки, крыски. Бегом отсюда. Попробуем еще раз.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist.
It always has to be the skeptic, this man. It's dark and grimy here.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A hollow ring
Ай,
echoes through the
опять не на
furnace.
этом.
Your toe hurts.
Ну ладно, тут ничего нового. Заходим, подлечимся. Ладно, быстро апдейт по квестам. По понедельнику пока все еще. Это задание, когда надо будет без Кима сделать. Вот насчет снятия с дерева. Возможно, стоит обратиться к тому чувачку, который там на ящиках, на контейнерах сидит. Героическая птица. Для этого потребуются денежки. Ладно, Ким, давай поговорим про наше.
Yes?
Расскажи мне о деле.
What do you want to know?
Угу. Абсолютно что угодно. Я вообще ничего не понимаю. Не помню.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
Угу.
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Стой, что нам известно о жертве?
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Почему мы ничего не знали про звонившего?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Ничего себе, приглашен.
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Вообще, хочу уточнить, чтобы наверняка наша работа найти убийцу, так?
That's right.
Как, по-твоему, это дело с налетом тайны?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Почему?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Я вот думал, не замешаны люди или что-то потустороннее. Ну знаешь, паранатуральное.
I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not?
Почему?
Because it's not part of reality.
Хорошо, окей.
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir to a full stop. So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case up. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
Вот, кстати, вопрос хороший. Если мы с разных участков, то почему ведем одно дело?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
Ты о чем?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
Я помню, что мы в чем-нибудь таком участвовали.
That's good.
Так, знаешь ты, чего я участник? Ретроград.
Better still than an imbecile cop-off.
Да, бодалка.
It's just stupidity.
Какого рода?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
А, то есть противостояние идет на том, кто правит Мартинезом.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Ладно, хватит о соревновании, сменить тему.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Угу.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Ого. Очень надеюсь, что прокнет. Попытаемся убедить Кима, что в этом деле есть манящая мрачная тайна.
What if
Ого.
you did it?
Что, я укокошил повешенного?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory.
Так.
Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
Угу.
Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
Ким, возможно, убийца. Я. Я его убил, а потом сделал так, что забыл об этом.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
У меня пусто в груди, будто я сделал что-то ужасное.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass.
То есть думаешь, я его не убивал?
I find that highly unlikely. It's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So let's get back to it, shall we?
Окей. Попытаемся узнать, почему 41-й участок меня послал.
Look at you.
О,
It's
это удалось.
because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
Чего? Нет.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
Ужас. Ким, а что если участок послал меня, потому что я лошара конченый, типа смеха ради?
I've considered it.
То есть так оно и есть?
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional, but I also think it's somewhat unlikely. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Я что, похож на надежный вариант?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Спасибо, даже дух нам восстановил.
He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought. Now let it go.
Ладно, пойдем уже делами заниматься, блин. Идем к чудо-машине.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Нам нужно пробить серийный номер бронированных ботинок.
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
Диктуем.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
Спасибо.
Was there anything else?
Пока закончил.
57, over.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a
Ладно.
hook.
Так. Берем фонарик. С этим другом мы говорили уже или нет?
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Да. Я слышал, что среди шоферов есть женщина, но ее, похоже, тут нет. Ты знаешь эту ролевую даму?
I don't want to talk about that.
А почему? Ты что-то знаешь? И что же?
Man, I was hoping she'd catch a break. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some mastermind evildoer. And I don't know where she is.
Что это за человек? Как ее зовут?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Again, not a lie as far as you can tell.
Кто она тебе?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Ну, блин, спасибо. Как она выглядит?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Ничего себе.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Да. Когда она уехала?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
Допустим.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? all part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
Ты типа... Ну ладно.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Поверь, это действительно так.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
Ну ладно.
She's got the darkness in her.
Да.
That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Мне говорили, что все ее боятся. Ты нет?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
Когда она уехала?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out?
Да, слегка подозрительно.
Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Блин, она подозреваемая, и ты должен мне сказать, где она. Иначе я не смогу закончить расследование.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax. Ask.
Где находится рулевая дама?
Here. But Laurie's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
Окей.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
Ничего себе. Что-нибудь еще? Не знаешь, где она сейчас?
No. I don't know.
И как ключи оказались у тебя?
She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
Сожалеть не будем, наша работа. Еще один вопрос. Кое о чем другом.
I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. Help someone.
Спасибо. Да уж. Так, ну, сейчас сходим наверх.
Looking for something?
Ладно, давай. Так, бра.
Right to work! Right to work! Sure, things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time?
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Ладно. Так, открываем.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such a...
Угу. Поговорим с бабушкой.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment.
Новых вариантов нет. Ну ладно. Так, вот про этот грузовик, да, была речь?
This green found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our men pointed to.
Да. Неприметный грузовик – самое то для перевозки наркотиков. Хотя, попробуем заглянуть в окно.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too.
Подергиваем дверную ручку.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Ладно, открываем.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Ладно, изучаем. Оценим плакаты.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Изучим постер.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy.
Ничего себе.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Смотрим радио.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Зачем кому-то столько радиостанций?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
Ничего себе. Мы можем что-то сделать с радио?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Посмотрим педали.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Похоже, что шофер наклеил на педаль газа наждачную бумагу, чтобы не скользила нога.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Наждачка должна была стереть узор с подошвы правого ботинка водителя.
Yes.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
У следов одной из пар обуви на месте преступления была необычная особенность. Одна подошва более гладкая, чем другая. Нифига себе.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Да, ничего себе. Так, и она же занимается торговлей наркотиками. Полный набор. Сперва торговля наркотиками, потом это. Насколько глубока эта кроличья нора? Давай первый вариант.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front, and a pull-out toolbox tucked under a metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Газета.
It's an issue of Petit Férique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Ладно.
The pull-out toolkit slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Получается, по кабине у нас все.
Close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Так, да.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Да. Похоже на стандартную полицейскую процедуру. Ким, что ты об этом всем думаешь?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
Да. Пока власть не может определиться, кто тут налаживает порядок, другая сторона работает.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
Несомненно.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
А что насчет плакатов?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
На плакатах было много женщин. Особенно если учесть, что водитель – женщина. Может, торговец был своего рода киноманом? Может, в этом замешана киноиндустрия? Ну, основные потребители.
I'm going to say no.
Окей. Как, по-твоему, это связано с профсоюзом?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose.
Да, скорее всего, у него доля тоже в этом есть.
My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can. To our own
Ким
ends.
правильно думает.
It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
Будем начинать расследование?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
О, то есть у нас, возможно, будет время, когда Ким будет не с нами.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
А сам что думаешь?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Ну ладно.
Debrief over. After you.
Отлично. Тогда в следующий раз первым делом идем к Джойс.